In September 1939, the world was plunged into conflict once again as France and Great Britain declared war on Nazi Germany following the invasion of Poland. Despite this declaration, the ensuing months of 1939 saw a period of relative inactivity on the Western Front, often referred to as the phony war. The Allies, accustomed to the static trench warfare of World War I, braced themselves for a similar conflict. They fortified their defences and awaited the anticipated German assault, assuming that Germany, with its limited resources, would eventually falter. By April 1940, the strategic situation had evolved. Germany had launched successful invasions of Denmark and Norway, yet the Allies remained largely passive. The strategic focus was on the Maginot Line, a formidable series of fortifications along the French-German border. The old guard of generals and politicians believed that the static defences of World War I would suffice. However, the Germans had a different strategy in mind, one that would defy conventional expectations. The German High Command, aware of their numerical disadvantage and the potential for a protracted conflict, devised an audacious plan to achieve a swift victory. Generals Erich von Manstein and Heinz Guderian proposed a daring maneuver, a rapid armoured assault through the Ardennes Forest, an area deemed impassable for tanks by both French and Belgian military leaders. This plan aimed to outflank the heavily defended French positions and strike at their weakest point. The Ardennes Forest, a dense and hilly region, was perceived by the Allies as a natural barrier. The Belgian military, already weakened by budget cuts and reduced manpower, had focused their defences on the more accessible areas of the northwest. The Ardennes were lightly defended, with the K groups under General Maurice Kai-Artz assigned to monitor the region. This included the Chasseurs Ardennais, a specialised infantry unit trained for operations in the challenging terrain of the Ardennes. The Chasseurs Ardennais, formed in 1933, were known for their resilience and skill in guerrilla tactics. Their primary role was to act as a tripwire, triggering demolition charges on key infrastructure and delaying any advancing German forces. Their motto, Résiste, mords, meaning resist and bite, encapsulated their determined spirit. They were not expected to hold the line against a full-scale assault, and their mission was to fall back to the main Belgian forces if necessary. On May 10, 1940, the German invasion began. The Chasseurs Ardennais, despite their orders to withdraw, found themselves isolated due to a catastrophic communication breakdown. Instead of retreating, they took up defensive positions and prepared to resist the German advance. This decision, though unplanned, would have significant consequences. Within hours, the 1st German Panzer Division reached the town of Martelon. The Chasseurs Ardennais had already destroyed the bridges and laid traps for the advancing forces. The Germans, initially confident, were met with fierce resistance from well-camouflaged Belgian positions. The Chasseurs Ardennais, living up to their motto, used their knowledge of the terrain to their advantage, launching effective ambushes and slowing the German advance. Major Maurice Bricart, commanding the 5th Company of the Chasseurs Ardennais, was stationed on a strategic hill in Baudange. This location, surrounded by rivers, provided a strong defensive position. Bricart's men, armed with Mauser rifles, light machine guns and grenade launchers, prepared to defend their position against the advancing Germans. They embodied their motto, Résiste et mords, and made every effort to hold their ground despite the overwhelming odds. As the Germans struggled to breach the defences of Baudange, they brought in heavier artillery and armour. Despite relentless bombardment, the Chasseurs Ardennais held their ground. The fierce fighting continued throughout the afternoon, with the Belgian defenders engaging in house-to-house combat and making every inch of ground costly for the Germans. Their resistance was a testament to their motto, Résiste et mords, as they fought with extraordinary tenacity. The German High Command, frustrated by the unexpected and fierce resistance, called in additional resources, including the formidable 88mm guns. These powerful artillery pieces finally broke through the Belgian defences. By late afternoon, the Chasseurs Ardennais were forced to surrender, but their stand had significant strategic implications. The heroism of the Chasseurs Ardennais was not part of any prearranged strategy, but was instead a consequence of the communication breakdown that left them isolated. Their decision to hold the line delayed the German advance, buying precious time for the Allies to respond. The bravery displayed by the Chasseurs Ardennais, in line with their motto, Résiste et mords, became legendary, with German commander Erwin Rommel famously describing them as green wolves in recognition of their fierce defense. The legacy of the Chasseurs Ardennais is a powerful reminder of the impact that a small but determined force can have on the course of history. Their stand at Bourdange exemplifies the courage and tenacity that can emerge in the face of overwhelming odds. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the Chasseurs Ardennais demonstrated a level of heroism that continues to inspire. Their actions during the Battle of Bourdange are commemorated as a symbol of Belgian bravery and resistance. The story of the Chasseurs Ardennais, true to their motto, Résiste et mords, is a testament to the enduring spirit of those who fight against the odds and a reminder of the sacrifices made in the pursuit of freedom.